guys, it's Abby from Bertie and the Beast. So today we're going to be taking a bit of a different approach on our videos. It's just going to be me this week, but I thought I'd talk to you guys about them, and it's part of me, and that's hydrocephalus. I just wanted to apologise, I do have a cold, so I might sound a bit nasally, but bear with me and we should hopefully get through this video smoothly. Okay, so hydrocephalus, when we take the word, there's the word hydro in it that means water, and cephalus that can either mean head or brain. So the essential meaning is water on the brain. Now obviously the water is not actual water, it's cerebrospinal fluid, and that is what envelopes the brain and the spinal cord. Now when there's a build-up of the cerebrospinal fluid, this causes dilation of the spaces in between the brain that are ventricles. So after this there can essentially be problems and damage to the tissue of the brain, but it doesn't necessarily need to happen. Hydrocephalus can be congenital, meaning it's there from birth, which is what I had. Or it can be acquired hydrocephalus, meaning it's caused by traumatic brain injury or by a stroke. I was born with hydrocephalus in 1996. I also had a occipital meningocephaly. I've definitely not pronounced that well, but a lot of big words, not very good. And so that is the lump that I have at the back of my head. So it does come out of my head quite a lot, but as I've grown up and my head's grown into itself, it doesn't, you can't see it. Luckily I've got quite thick hair so you don't see it. But I will insert a couple of pictures so that you can see what it looked like when I was born. I've got a shunt. So a shunt is what drains the fluid that's been built up in your head and brings it down into your abdomen. I was told when I was younger that, or my parents were told, that there's a possibility that I may never walk, talk or be able to function alone. After the shunt operation, I developed quite normally. I was feeding properly, and other than possibly walking a little bit later than usual, I didn't have any specific delays. I was told that I'd possibly need a second operation, still when I was a baby, but my parents found a second opinion from a different doctor, and they confirmed that I didn't need the second operation. In year 4 I was advised to have some tests done on whether I'd have possibly dyslexia or any other disabilities, but nothing came up on the report, so I just kind of continued on with schooling without needing the extra help. I did do some sort of training that was figure 8 training, I'm not really sure the name of it, and that was to kind of help with my balance and my coordination that was a little bit off. But other than that there was no particular problems that were seen. Then later on in year 11 I did have another test. That was before I did my French baccalaureate in France, and a few things came up like dyslexia, dyspraxia and slight ADD, not a huge amount, but I do lose my train of thought sometimes. I think getting a diagnosis was somewhat reassuring. I don't think it was kind of there as an excuse. I didn't, bring it up in conversations, but there was something that instead of using it as an excuse for bad behaviour, it was more of a way of kind of going, oh well, I've achieved something despite having, the minor setbacks that I might have had. And I think it was like it was a reassurance rather than a way of getting out of things. I think overall I was just very lucky. You hear a lot of success stories with hydrocephalus, but you also hear a lot of stories that people, their their shunts malfunction several times. You can have people that have had hundreds of operations, whereas I've only had one. I'm very lucky. I believe when I was about 13, or maybe a bit younger than that, I went to go and have another test to go and see my neurosurgeon, and he confirmed that actually my shunt wasn't being used anymore. So that's definitely very important and very lucky of me. I think the main idea is that people can't lose hope in achieving what they want to achieve. I want to work with children with disabilities mainly because I believe that even if someone may not be able to live independently later on in life, but they obtain the best possible result. And I think everyone's scared of kind of going that little bit further. They're scared of failing before they even try. And I think that's what I really want to kind of put forward, that, you know, families of someone that's got a child with disabilities, or the child itself, that to make them believe that it can get better.